Greeting, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to do Dark Souls. I know I've been meaning to do this for a long time now, and I did do it on my birthday, though unfortunately that recording was lost, but now is the time to play one of my favorite games of the past few years. So, let's go ahead and let's just skip this part. I always start as a pyromancer because I personally like it. And for this one, I am not going to take the master key because I usually do skip certain ones, certain bosses, but for Let's Play purposes, I need to show them all. Let's see, which one do I usually choose? Oh! And there we go.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skills. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath, the scales, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
God, I love that intro. Now, I am actually playing this on the PC, and I am using a PS3 controller, for those that were wondering, for the best possible quality that there is.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
So I am going to actually try to do this as fast as possible. But I'm also going to be doing it carefully and be taking all the bosses. Now, it has actually been honestly, it's been about a year since I've actually fully played this game, so I don't remember everything. But I will say, when I first played this game, I hated it. It was so hard and so frustrating. Now, I'm not going to go super high level or anything like 158 or 200 or what my other characters are. But I will try and have some fun. Or see how far I can get. But yeah, A is your general action. Triangle switches between one-handed, two-handed. Square uses items. Circle is going to be your best friend. It is your dodge, run, and jump. And in order to jump, you have to run, which requires you to quickly push circle twice, or hold circle to run, and then push circle twice to jump. And this is your lifesaver, bonfires. Every single time you die, you come to the last one you rested at. You want to level up, you come to to one of these. Now, L1 is right now attack, but that's also how you use your shield when you get one. And L2 is parry. R1 is a normal attack, and R2 is heavy attack. Now that's just the base moves. There are tons of others that you can learn. And there's our first boss, and we're gonna go right past him. It is possible to beat him with this, but you do very, very little damage. And come over here. Get your shield. Everything is in real time. You will not be able to pause the game at all. You go to your items, you are going to be getting attacked. And here's your first weapon. Now, pressing R3 will automatically lock on the enemies, which is very, very, very useful. I cannot express how essential it is to use that. Now, now every weapon has a different set of moves. If you tap the stick forward in R1, sometimes you'll do a kick or a different attack. Forward R2 is usually a lunging attack. And when you go to two-handed, it's usually much stronger. Actually, I'm curious. What's to prevent us from going back through here? Huh. So it is locked. Alright, so come on up here. Walk up a few steps, and then don't do that.
you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission.
Now, you technically don't have to listen to him. You can actually just attack him, but why would you do that?
Thou who art undead art chosen.
This is the only real direction in the story that you will ever get.
To the land of ancient lords, when thou ringest the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Oh, and this.
But you'll need him for the key and for the
I
flask.
would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Anyways, to switch items, you'll just press the corresponding D-pad. Usable items are on the bottom. Weapons are the sides. And the top is your spells and miracles, but more on that later. And now we got pyromancy. Now be careful because they can break your attack. Or break your defense. Or I'm sorry, your guard. That green bar is your endurance, and everything uses endurance. Blocking attacks, attacking, running, everything uses endurance. Now, if you can get behind an enemy like so, you can do a backstab, which does major damage. Usually about 3 times damage or so. Whoop. Don't want to die yet. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and heal. And that's how you parry, but I did not do a Ripatoise because I hit the attack button too quickly. Oh, yeah, some enemies will heal themselves too, so you gotta be quick on the draw. Alright, so there's our fire, but we won't really need it. Now fall down and hold R1 and you'll do a drop attack. Major damage, but you don't really use it much. But the best strategy for almost all bosses, especially of this one, is to, well, I'm really getting my butt handed to myself today, is to get behind them and pretty much stab them in the ass. And there's our first boss, who's pretty damn easy. Oh, and select does little commands, but no real use for it. Alright, so if you explore a little over here, Soul the Lost Undead, and I believe that's it. There is someone over here, but we can't use him until later.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
And now we are in Mordrin. Alright, so let's go ahead and, because I know what weapon I'm going for, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my strength and dexterity. Let's see what you have to say.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?